everybody, it's Allie Edwards and welcome to a very special video where I take you through my mom's December daily album for 2021. Many of you guys have seen my mom's 2020 December daily. I shared that last year. She gave me permission, and then she gave me permission to share hers again this year. So she just finished 2021, probably, I think she finished it before December or right in December. So she was, working like many of you, working at a different time than I was working on it, which is completely fine. And it is such a treat and a treasure for me to be able to share this with you. And I'm super thankful for my mom and my dad and their willingness to let me share a piece of their life with you. It's important for me also to share this album with you so that you can see that there's no right or wrong and that there are a million different ways that your December daily project can come together. You can be crafty, you can not be crafty, you can be, that you can have kids at home, you can not have kids at home, right? Like lots of different lifestyle experiences. It's just it is also obviously really special just because it's my mom, right? And I love that it is something that has brought her great joy, especially the last few years when she's been, really wanting to actually finish the different projects that she has personally participated in. And so I love being able to take the opportunity to walk through with you. So she uses a combination of products. We always send her some stuff. So she's got different years of products mixed in here, and you're gonna see that. It is a very, what I would call real life. It's a real life version of a scrapbook, right? She's not a professional. She's not doing it to gain followers. She's doesn't have any piece of a business, right? She's just doing it for the love of storytelling. And I think that that's one of the reasons why when I shared her album previously, it connected with so many people. So with that said, let's dive into my mom. Her name is Patty. Let's dive into Patty's December daily for 2021. So I love this. First of all, she added chipboard numbers into the inside of the spine. I thought that was a really fun idea for adding in numbers. Over here, she's got her reason why. So she has a little flip up section with a photo of herself there at the beach. They live at the beach. She's got this, look at this cute little December day. She just cuts stuff up, sticks it in there, right? And one of the reasons why she chose to participate in documenting December is because of me. So I love that. And a lot of the journaling that she has in here is personal to me too. So I'm not going to read through all of it with you, but I love, I'm just going to read you what she says here. She says, the number one reason I am following and inspired by my daughter, Allie Marie McDougall Edwards McKercher, which I got a lot of names, right? I am the fortunate mother of Allie, who shares the gifts of the supplies and products I use to document December daily for the month of December. Over the past several years, I'm usually a year behind in completing my December daily. I want to take a photo and write a story every day. Then life happens, other obligations, and a wonderful husband that wants to spend time with me. I'm very thankful for that blessing. Also very thankful for the blessing of Allie, who inspires and teaches so many people to photograph, document, and save the memories of the month of December. So far, December daily is a yearly project for me. I'm always so thankful when I complete the project. This year, I'm finishing my December daily 2021 before December 2022. So she was really excited about that. All right, let's dive in. She's got a title page here. Look at this cute little thing. Do you guys remember we had some let's see, how do I say this? It's concentric circle chipboard, right? These are products from 2 years ago now, but we did have a bunch of circles in our projects this year. Some of these ideas she might have seen online from other people, so I don't necessarily know all of the story related to those kinds of things, but it's just fun to see how she's using projects or the products. And I love that she made this one into a spinner. It's just so cute. Then I want to deconstruct the whole thing. But a lovely beginning here. She's got a Christmas card in there, a picture of my mom and dad, hoping your Christmas season is filled with the best. Inspired by me. I just love seeing what she puts in there. Her first story here is the story of holiday decorations and bedding, and she's got a story about the quilt that she has in there. These are the kinds of things that are total gems, right? Because at some point in time when my parents are gone, I as a person who loves stories, will love having the story of her quilt, right? And where that came from and what they liked. And this one actually has a crazy funny story about they couldn't find the quilt, and then they found some garbage bags outside, like around their house somewhere. They've got a kind of a setup on the coast there where they were storing something, and then they ended up finding it randomly in a black garbage bag outside, and that it had lived out there all winter. So she's detailing the story of that it was a happy miracle that the Christmas quilt survived its year in an old black garbage sack out by the woodshed. So I love, that's real life, right? Like, I love that part of it. I also, just from the very get-go, I want to say to you that what I love seeing here, and one of the things that helps me keep perspective on memory keeping and really value the words, is the words, right? As you go through here, she's got words. She's got lots of words. She's really writing out the stories and all of the different things. Oh, I'm only a few pages in, and it's gonna get even better. Her next story was about getting a photo printer, and I had got her a printer. Let's see, my favorite really Christmas gift this year was a new Epson printer that my dad picked up. Her old treasured Canon wasn't working very well. My sister-in-law's dad had recommended a printer to her, and then they got that. And then she also talks about how she has the Epson PictureMate, the PM400, but it only prints 4x6, and she wanted bigger pictures. It's very relevant to all of the stories that any of us that are in this memory keeping community do. And so she's detailing that story. Our lives are full of beauty all around us. Al, who's my dad, and I love to take photographs of that beauty and save the memories. It's really special. Then she's got some detailing of long-term friendships for my dad. This is Paulo. Many of you guys have seen Paulo in the past. He actually lives down where my parents live, and so they are spending a lot of time together down there. This is one of my dad's friends from growing up. So, you know, many moons ago. So she tells the story of long-term friendships on this one. And then she also had my dad, which I think is super valuable, handwrite out a story about digging razor clams. So that's something that they do down on the coast. And he actually writes out, this is the gem, right? He writes out the story of when he first started going clam digging. And he said, I started my razor clam experiences as a young boy in Hump Tulips, Washington, going to Copalis Beach. It was very early 1950s. Our family, including my grandparents, Nana and Bompa, would load us up in Uncle Happy's Jeep and travel 20 miles to the beach. The limit in those days was 24 a person, so the more members, the better. The razor clams were plentiful and big. Upon return to the cabin, the clams were immediately cleaned and processed into quart jars for storage. My job in the process was to remove the shell by dipping the live clams into boiling water for a few seconds, and the shells would drop off. Bompa always kept an eye on me, as he didn't want those clams to toughen by being in the hot water too long. Each family member had a job in the processing line. Since those days, I have dug razor clams from South Central Alaska to the California border. There are few, if any, beaches in Oregon, Washington that I have not experienced the joy of harvesting razor clams. This is a story that is a big part of his life. It is a story that I now have, my mom has recorded in his own handwriting. This is what this is about. This is what this is about. This is what this is about. It's the stories that are the most important. All right, so then my mom has a story. Next story here is about her craft room at their house on the coast. And so she's telling the whole story about what she loves to do in there, what she has in there, how, you know, how having her own space is really important to her. It was actually an addition that they did onto the house that they bought there. And she just talks about driftwood and the computers that they have, and just details, right? It's details about stuff. Like, she probably goes into this room every single day. And so having a story about that room, you know, and you have rooms in your house that you go into every single day, right? I know for a fact that those rooms hold stories. What's a story that you can tell about the rooms in your house? She chose to add it into December Daily. So figuring out where do those stories fit in your overall storytelling adventure. I thought this one was really cute. Here we go. This is, I'm not sure which story number this is. She doesn't necessarily have them numbered, which is not a big deal. But the next story is, she says, this is the first Christmas in my life of 73 years that we did not have a Christmas tree in our home. I love the Christmas season and miss not having a tree. The beauty of the Christmas lights, the smell of the tree, and the memories of each of the ornaments we have enjoyed over 51 years of marriage are very special to me. We did have lots of Christmas lights around the house and beautiful Christmas flowers. Next year she hopes to have a Christmas tree with lots of decorations, which I know that they did for 2022 because I went down there and I saw it. So I thought this was super cute, right? She put this in a transparency, and I think this was from a Christmas card potentially, or maybe I think it opens as a Christmas card, but she turned it into the same shape. So this then repeats that shape there, and it just is such a cute idea. Such a cute idea. That looks like a card or something that they might have gotten in the mail, some piece of ephemera. And then she goes into talking about they have a hot tub. They're big hot tub lovers. Hot tub is on my list for a someday thing for me. But so handwriting, right? We've got a combination of typed journaling and handwriting. And she added in a couple other photos from when they're in the hot tub. They see hummingbirds, they see seagulls. They're very friendly with the wildlife around there. So finding joy in what their daily life is, right? I love going through this. All right, the next story she has in here is about the view they have of a lighthouse from their home, and they have taken thousands of pictures of this lighthouse, so detailing a little bit of that. Then she's got a cute vellum page here where she had some hearts, just playing around, right? She's got the canvas word phrases there on top of the plastic hearts that we offered that year. A little bit of around here. I thought it was so cute, like taking a circle, right, back to back, having all of those mixed back to back. Then she's got a little page with some details on some grandkids there. I love how she put a picture of each one of them in here, girls and boys. Super cute. And she's got little Gabrielle, she's got the little bows that she added on there, or these guys that she added on there. I think that there was a similar page that I did like this in 2021. So sometimes she follows along and gets ideas from the things that I've done, and then other times she's just telling the kinds of stories that she wants to tell. Her next story then is about early morning. Early morning, she is a very early riser, and so she has some of the devotionals that she likes to read here from her December devotionals, and so she's got some information on that. And she talks about that they both get up pretty early, and they take turns building a fire. They have a big fireplace there, and it's just so sweet, like early mornings, right? Our mornings begin with a hot beverage and one cookie. Coffee for Al, tea for me. We take turns building the fire. Sometimes one of us prepares the fire in the evening, sometimes in the early morning. Winter mornings are so nice to have a warm, crackling fire to sit and read. Al likes to read the news. My choice is to read inspirational Christian periodicals. The photos on the opposite page show the names of the 6 subscriptions I read almost every morning. I love the inspirational, positive feelings to start the day. Just wish I had better memory retention to recall the uplifting messages and thoughts of the day. This is something that she's been doing my whole life. Like, I have very vivid memories of her when we were all living together, even just having inspirational readings and things like that. It's a big part of it. And it's probably a big part of the reason why, I love words too, right? Ingrained in me early on. Then she's got one here about a bath rug, a story of a bath rug. So I love, again, this idea of the things that we bring out at Christmas, right? What are the things that we maybe bring out of our tubs and at Christmas time, and do each of those different things have stories, right? I bet for many of us, we could probably do a whole December daily album of the contents of maybe your Christmas decorations or your Christmas ornaments, which I've done a little bit of that in the past too. So this one is a story about her rug. Then she's got just simply celebrating, and says the colors of this photo are magical for me. The nighttime hue with just the string of Christmas lights makes it magical, especially with the special wooden board sign with beach house painted on it. Her sister Judy gave this sign to her as a gift, and Judy passed away several years ago, and my mom really misses her. So this beach house sign is very special to her. Every time I look at it, which is every day, I remember how much she loved the beach and coming to visit us in this very special beach house. So what I love about this, and what I, again, want to reiterate to anybody who's watching this, is that this is insight into the people that we love, right? When we write, we are sharing pieces of our own heart in order to connect and or communicate with other people. Like, I didn't remember that my aunt bought this for her. I wouldn't have known that that is one of her most special pieces of things that she has in her house without this story. Right, so I've learned something about her in the process of being able to see the things that she's made and read what she has written. All right, then we've got more twinkly lights over here, so that was a big thing. Then she's got a story here about this macrame angel, and she wrote out a story about that it was something that she made in 1980. She was a member of an organization called PEO, which raises funds for women's college scholarships. And she talks about how that these groups get together and they do a fundraising Christmas tour of homes with decorations. And it's a pretty big macrame angel, actually. And I remember that hanging in our house growing up too. So she's got this cute little thing, loves Christmas wreaths. Yeah, I just love it. It's just it's so special. So she's got the pocket in there. This was a cool use of that 3x8 pocket. We got 3x8 pocket right with the smaller piece on the bottom. So she's got a little bit of detail there. And then she turned this one in, took one of these pockets. You guys might remember this from the 2021 kit, and then slipped that right inside there. The next story she's talking about is Thanksgiving for living at the beach, right? Giving thanks for living at the beach, gratitude for where they live, and then I get to see her beautiful handwriting and writing the story of thankfulness for that. And then she's got a story of Christmas lights, so the outside lights on their house there, you know, along the front and then along the roof there. And for them, as they're getting older, I think that this year for 2022, they didn't end up putting the lights on the upper parts of their house. We talked a little bit about that, but they did have the ones out in the front again. And so it's fun to read, you know, what their own story of the Christmas lights is. Actually, you know what? This is where I should read, because she put in the photos from 2016, right, when they lit up the whole house, and this is what they did in 2021 and then 2022, because it's become too dangerous for them to go up on the roof of the house. So I love that as an idea, right? When maybe you have a story of something that you used to do in the past, pairing it with what's different now. Right? This is essentially what she did here. Here's what this looked like in 2016, and here's what it looks like now. All right, here is a new little story. The next story here is about my dad playing with a professional meat slicer that came from Paulo. Paulo's working in running a kitchen operation down there at a golf course, and so they're talking about, Paulo brought that. He also loves to cook, and so he's cutting up, my dad is cutting meat for some of the Japanese dishes that he likes to make. And then she's got a little bit of detail about Paulo eating there, and some nice, cute little decorations. Then she's has some details about a gift from Paulo, which were some I think slippers that heat up. So she's got the little pocket here, and then she used the ribbon on there, right, making life warmer. That must have gone with those. And then she's got cute little Merry Christmas on the back here, and this is where she took the instructions for this and then added the story on this side here. Let's see, I was going to see if that's, oh yeah, so she's just got it tacked together, or held together with a little star paper clip, and she has writing the story, and then she's got the how to use that there, but that's I like how she did that too. Love pockets. I also like how she put the photo on the front of the pocket. I think that's a cool way to approach that. She's got her Christmas letter. So the Christmas letter that they send out to friends and family is tucked inside this pocket there. And then she's got a little card that she sent to me. This was a card that she sent to me in email talking about when she finished her 2021, I think, or 2020. This was just a note that she sent to me during December, right? Remember how I talk about how I almost always have a letter or something from them. This year I didn't have a letter from them because I went down and visited them too. Documenting another gift here, some hand warmers there from one of her neighbors. So telling the story of that. And then she's telling the story of going shopping with my dad. They are total bargain hunters. They love to read the ads and look and see what's on sale and see how much money they can save. And so they always are, it's a fun piece of their own story. So she's talking a little bit about that here in this particular story. All right, her next story here in the album is 20 reasons why she loves Christmas. I love that as a story prompt. Love it, love it, love it. So she's got the, the real meaning of Christmas, celebrating and honoring Christ, Christmas music and Christmas carols, Christmas movies, Christmas lights and decorations. She is very much a lover of Christmas, big time. And so it's fun to see what is on her list and what order things are in her list. Mine would be different, right? Yours would probably be different too. What are the 20 reasons why you love Christmas, or the 10 reasons why you love Christmas? Next up, she's got looks like a Christmas card in there, colorful. Oh, it's napkin. Then this one is a napkin on the back. This is cool. So what she did is she took like a Christmas card right here. It's like the front of a Christmas card. She's got it inside the page protector. It's stapled in there. So you've got the peekaboo around the edges. And then on the back, she's given herself space to journal, and then she has the napkin. So talk, a little story about how she likes to have cocktail napkins and with their coffee and a cookie. It doesn't have to be a cocktail, right? It can be coffee and tea and their cookies, which I just think is so sweet. Her next story is about Christmas slippers. One of the things I'm noticing about this year, in her album this year, she's definitely telling stories about things, right? Things around in December, or gifts that she received, or the things that she cares about in December, right? She's looking at her own life and she's telling stories about the things that are important to her, things that she cares about, or the things that she's feeling gratitude for, which I think is a wonderful way to approach this project. So she's got Christmas slippers here. She said she's been looking for them for a while, so she was very excited to find those particular slippers, which I love. Also love how she added on the little stars to that tree card there. She's got some stickers. Next story is seeing a hummingbird on Christmas Day, right? Seeking the simple joys is what she did. She actually cut that was a journaling card, so I know she cut that out and put it on top of something else. My parents love to garden and they love birds, and I love to garden and I love birds. And so when we get together, we talk a lot about gardening and birds and which birds are coming into our yards. I love it. I love seeing it. I mean, I've seen pictures from them where they have 15 hummingbirds in a hummingbird feeder. The birds are very smart. They know who cares about them. Next, and so she's telling a story too about the hummingbird feeder that they have and those sorts of things there too. She's got the 2x2 pocket page there, and she's cut up a bunch of different things and added them into the pocket, which I think is cool. They're probably watched that movie, and then having that in there as a story. And one of the things I like about this too is sometimes it's just fun to have a place to put the products and the patterns and the things that you liked, right? The things that you liked from that particular season. All right, next up, she has a story here about December Daily Inspiration. So she's talking a little bit about that. And I think that's where this concept came from, one of the pages that she saw somebody else do, where they were putting little pieces in there. And she's, talking about the creative team of people that we have working on these projects and getting ideas from them. So that's pretty fun to be able to read about that too, right? So in the future, talks about different sorts of things. There is a Dairy Queen near my parents' house, and there was always a Dairy Queen near the house when I grew up too, or the house that we grew up in. And I just love that they like to go to Dairy Queen. And I also love that she put, not only was it like we like to go to Dairy Queen, but it's my mom likes the peanut butter parfait. That's what she's always liked from when I was a little kid. And she also likes chocolate dip cone. And then my dad almost always gets a vanilla or chocolate ice cream cone. So it's like people's preferences, right? It's the little stories of our lives that we discount half the time that I think are really enjoyable. She said, even in winter, Al likes to stop at the Dairy Queen on the way home from grocery shopping or other errands. So that's fun to read. Okay, so next up here, she's got a Christmas card. This looks like a card from my sister and the gift that my sister sent them. And so she's got the writing from my sister and then Gabrielle, and then my mom wrote a little bit on there on the side. So I think that's really cute, documenting that. Next, she's got a little story about, I think, a song that she likes. Maybe a song or a quote or a poem there. And I like how she's got the green on both sides. She's also got the little like lift. Don't forget to lift here. Okay, so this is another thing that she received. It looks like maybe this was from my sister, because this is my sister and my niece over here too. So she's got the I Love pillow, which looks actually really cool. I kind of want to check that out. And then she wrote the story. of it here. And a little bit about missing my sister and missing Gabrielle because they live on the East Coast. And I think that that is a sweet part of the story too. And then the next story she's got here, she's telling a story of, looks like they're a fire bowl. This was also a gift, so being able to sit outside and have the fire outside as well, I think is a joy for them. And she's got different little pieces around here as well. Then on this page, she's got, this is a story about my brother and sister-in-law and their family. And if you remember, I think that she kind of did this in her last December Daily too, where she had, one day she told a story about my family, the next day she told a story about my brother and his family, and then the next day she told a story about my sister and her family. So she is bringing all of our voices in by telling stories about each one of us, right? Or the different things that are happening with our individual families because we don't all live in the same town. So in this one, she's telling the story about my sister-in-law sending pictures to them about them going to the snow and including a few things from them. So I think it's really a sweet way for her to include her children in the process, right? So for many of us, our children are still living at home, but I know for many of you, your children are not living at home anymore, and being able to just have, one of the stories that you include in your project be about what is happening in their families, I think that that's really cool as well. And so then she comes in and she's talking about, this is from their family, right? Counting the blessings, and again, telling stories about my brother's family, and documenting the Christmas gifts and writing a little bit about my nephew, Henry there, who is going to his junior prom, and then Olive, and then Lucy over here, decorating and designing these plates for Thanksgiving. My parents spent Thanksgiving with my sister-in-law and her family, and this cute little drawing that Lucy did. This is Lucy. Lucy is just a little bit older than Anna and Aud. All right, and then next, I'm just covering up some addresses here on another card. She tells a little story about these cute little snowmen that she found at a thrift store. She definitely likes snowmen. She's got a lot of snowmen things in her Christmas collections as well. And I always like seeing that too. So just documenting little things that were special to her in that particular year. So then it is the Christmas card from my crew there, and just a little bit of detail about how old each one of us are. This was one of my favorite cards that we've done, where it just says doing our best in 2021. That's what we're always just trying to do. So a little bit of story there. And then Christmas gift, about the Christmas gift that we sent them, which were some, we did it from a spoonful of comfort. I like sending food because I like sending consumable sorts of things. So that was what we had sent last year. I think we sent both ice cream and, or maybe ice cream was what we sent the time before. And then Spoonful of Comfort is a place that you can order meals from. Like, you can send it to somebody who's ill. It has like chicken soup, and it has like the whole meal put together. So a soup-based meal. I thought that was fun. Oh, and it had a pie. That's right. It had a berry pie. Very fun. Yeah. And so she's got different little pieces from that when they received that, and all the different little things that came in it. See, that's super cute, right? Like part of the way that she's telling the story is using the packaging and adding in the packaging from the different places. And that had a pie in it too. I love it. I love it. The next story here, she's got talking about, and look, she is the who, what, where, when, and why. All right, so the next story she has in here, we're getting closer to the end, is talking again about morning routine, but in a different way, telling a little bit of a different story. And what I love about this is that reminder that she's told a story about their morning routine earlier in the album, and she's doing it again, but she's telling a different story, right? So even if we told the story of our morning routine multiple times in an album, it's totally possible that we would pick out different things and we would share different things based on what we're inspired to tell. This one, she's got a picture, so she didn't have a picture with her other one, and she talks about using her iPhone, and she's got her iPhone in her hand, and she sees the Christmas lights in the window. It's kind of bringing together a lot of the things that she's talked about previously in the album and bringing them together in one place. Kind of links all these different story threads together, which I think is a really beautiful way to approach it. Then she's got some Christmas cookies from Paulo. She's got this cute little picture of Paulo there, picture of the different cookies, a Christmas card from Paulo's brother's family, who also lives down there. And then she did a Loving Now. I haven't read this. Some of these I haven't read. Loving now. Here's what she put in there. Look at this. So cute, right? You know, this is, loving is one of the themes that I almost always do each year. So she said, what is she loving now? Still married to the man I have loved for 51 years. Living on the beach with a view of the ocean, blessed with 3 children, all alive, healthy, happy, productive people, 6 awesome grandchildren. I can still hear, she's saying that she's thankful that she can still hear, sometimes, walk, talk, read, write, love, eat, pray, think, and breathe. Like, that should get each one of us, right? Loving that we still have the ability to do those things. She's loving the internet that helps her keep in touch with her friend, or with her family, and with the world. She's loving the blessing of living in the United States all of her life. She is loving her faith in God, which helps her look for the good and positive in life. She's loving feeling gratitude for her parents and ancestors who guided her through her life, and I'm getting choked up as I read this. So thankful for Allie and all of her amazing classes to inspire me, and all of her people and all of her community. These projects matter, right? They matter, and for me, for all of the work and for all of the, you know, there are pieces of it that are stressful, and I never imagined this would be a business, and, you know, all of those other pieces. Like, this is the heart of it, to be able to see what somebody actually cares about, and to be able to read what someone actually cares about. And obviously for me, for it to be my mom, someone who I greatly admire and greatly love, it is a very, very special thing. All right, and then the last few pages here, she's got, you know, another reflection on her faith. She's a very faith-filled person, and obviously that has come up a lot throughout her project here. It's very much a piece of her story, and I love seeing that represented, and for me it's, you know, deeply a part of my history as well. Over here she's got a little instant message. I love instant messages that keep her in touch with her loved ones. So talking about that, which I think is really cool. And that's one of the things that I have recommended, you know, in taking screenshots of text messages or those kinds of things, right? It's such a way that we do communicate and stay in touch with each other these days, which is very different for, you know, somebody that's in their 70s, right? That's not how that's not how they live the majority of their life. And so showing that as the, you know, evolution of technology and progress and whatever, it's kind of fun to see. So this is one from my sister where my sister sent it to my mom, you know, taking a picture of one of the little cross-stitch Santas that my mom has made over the years, and, you know, telling her my sister telling my mom that was one of her favorites. I thought that was cute. So, you know, documenting the importance of staying connected and documenting the ways that we can be connected to each other as well. Then she's got a story that they went up to Federal Way, which is where I grew up, in the home that I grew up in. They still have that house there. They're on their way to selling it, and I think it's still been a nice home base for them as they travel some up and down the West Coast here to see doctors and so much. But they were snow. So where we live, you know, in the Pacific Northwest, in the area of the Pacific Northwest that we live in, we don't always have snow. Sometimes we get it once a year. Sometimes we don't get it at all. So for people who live around here in the kind of valley areas that we live in, whenever we get snow, it's a big story. So her documenting that to let it snow with the little snowflakes. And then I think she's ending this. She's got another picture, or a picture of a rainbow, December rainbow, a gift from God. Love that. She's got another scripture verse there. Beautiful rainbow at the beach. And then coming in, she's there in the last couple pages there, her last page, she's just got most wonderful time of the year, Christmas music on the radio, Christmas books, eating candy, Christmas cards, documenting December daily, enjoying Christmas lights. We get to see what she cares about through the pages of this album. And then she's got McDougal's her last name, Christmas 2021, and got the big star there on the end. So a huge thank you to my mom for sharing this with us. I think that this is such a wonderful opportunity for everybody in our community to refocus on the things that are most important as we, especially even as we enter into our documenting choices for this year. You know, what are ways that you can move forward in your own memory keeping that keep it at the heart of what's most important for you. And that might be the crafting part, or it might be the writing part, or it might be a combination of all of those things, right? There's so many different ways that we can approach memory keeping, and this is a gift. Also, you as a community are a gift, and thank you so much for being a part of the December Daily community. And I will be greatly, wholeheartedly looking forward to documenting December again with anybody who wants to do it later this year.